Hey, good evening. Yes, it's evening. It's not morning, afternoon, anything like that. I am going live to showcase the cards for my first card class to go. I turn off these captions. So, this is a new endeavor. Everything new is always kind of scary at first. I can't usually do this on Mondays because I do sing in the Northeast Texas Choral Society, and we rehearse on Monday evenings, but we are on a holiday right now, so I can do Mondays. Kind of adds an extra day to my schedule, actually. This is Mary Lou Foster. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sulphur Springs, Texas. Welcome to my card class to go. This very first one uses the Countryside Inn Designer Series paper and a stamp set called Very Best Occasions. This stamp set is one that you can use for a lot of different occasions, hence the name Very Best Occasions. It has the happy birthday that we're going to use, and the endlessly grateful, and a thinking of you. It does have inside sentiments also, which makes that even more useful. It's not just the happy birthday and then you don't have anything to put on the inside. So I will post a link with information of how to get this card class for free in the mail. It involves placing a $35 online order in my online store using a specific host code. Hi, Marika, I see you hopped on. That host code, let's see, I've got a paper with it on there. You don't really have to worry about remembering it because there will be a link that you can click on that will have this host code already attached to it. That's what lets me know when you place that order that you want this card class in the mail. It's a totally different format than you're used to having with me. Yes, I'm still going to do my in-person card classes towards the end of the month, usually the last Thursday. That's a separate, that card class is $20 or free with a minimum $25 order. Same as always. This is an extra one. So it's up to you. You are not required, asked, or expected to do both. I'm hoping to build an online business, and this is a way to reach more people that would like to participate in my card classes but don't live close enough to do that. They'll get a card class kit in the mail. So with your $35 minimum order that you place with that host code, you will receive 6 card kits. And they're very similar to what I'm going to be using tonight. I have prepped the card bases, all the pieces. You will get a fourth of a package of the designer series paper that you get to cut to the size to use on the card. How do I know what size to cut that paper? You'll get a PDF instruction sheet that will give you, the cutting sizes. That you'll have to do for yourself. For this particular card kit, I believe I'm doing all the die cutting because I've kind of used a variety of shapes and different sets. I'll do the punching. So you'll do your stamping because there will be no stamping done. Even if you don't own this Very Best Occasion stamp set, it is still very, very possible to just use what you have. They're happy birthday cards. They could all be a happy birthday card. Thinking of you. I'm sure you've got stamps in your stash that would be totally usable for these cards. So you're not locked into having to purchase this stamp set. I tried to make this one very easy. you'll have your paper, and then you'll get a package of the iridescent rhinestones. So let me show you the paper. I've made this little display board, and you can see the way I've set it up. This is the front and the back of that sheet, and the front and the back of that. Front and back, front and back, front and back, front and back. So it kind of has this cool patterns for one side, and then more graphic on the, and then also your coordinating colors. I have put this on the boho blue, which is one of our new in colors. That's what this cardstock color is. But these papers coordinate with balmy blue, misty moonlight, and night of navy. So if blue is a color that you like, this designer series paper is for you. You'll get a 1/4 of a package, so that means that there'll be 6 by 6 sheets, and that's plenty, the right size. That'll work totally for even this card where you're cutting a little bit bigger piece. For this video, I'm not going to try to tell you what size to cut these, because you'll have that set of instructions that tells you what size. Alright, $35 online order with the host code. Lets me know you want this. It doesn't hurt to send me a message or an email that, hey, I placed an order and I do want the card kits. I pay for the mailing. If you're not local to me, if you're local, I can deliver. And if your order is over $50, I will throw in the roll of bordered ribbon. And we're going to use that on a couple of cards. But it coordinates very nicely with the designer series paper. Alright, if I think of anything else I need to tell you as we go, I'll throw that in there. So let's get started with the first card. I'm going to show you 2 options for this cute little element right here. This is a punch called the bow punch, or the bow, B-O-U-G-H, bow is how I say it. It punches out the leaves and the little flowers. Or I have used a die out of course I don't have it written down here what this is in. And I might have a piece. I don't think I do though. Oh, well, hopefully I'll think of it as we go. So, you know, that's going to be included, and I'll probably do the punch, because punching is easier than die cutting. Alrighty, so you'll get 2 of each card. Your card base is Misty Moonlight. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder to kind of tighten that fold so I don't have to keep fighting it. Now this particular card has a lot of parts. You might compare your pieces. They are almost the same size. Put the bigger one on the inside. This little bit smaller one can go on this side, on the front. You've got a piece of the designer series paper. Like I said, I'm not going to try to tell you what the sizes are, because the intent of the video is just to show you how to put the cards together. And you just kind of space them. And I think what I'll do is set my card base aside, and I'll build this panel. I like to use the seal. I don't want to bore you guys to death, but this video will take a little longer. I've been doing some short, like 20 to 25 minute videos doing just one card. I have a YouTube channel. They're posted there. They're also on this Facebook page. I have a blog, so the links are on that. If you aren't on my email list, you need to be. That's how you keep up with the comings and goings, because there's lots going on. Stampin' Up! Right now has a sale on the designer series paper for 15% off. Also, a joining special. Don't let that scare you. It's a really cool way if you have a very large list that you would like to include in a starter kit, because you get to pick your own starter kit. It's not all designed for you. I'm going to stamp in Misty Moonlight. And this one is the happy birthday card. Whoops. Oh, let me stamp off. You know, to just tap lightly, because if you squish it, you're going to get ink all the way around your stamp block and around the edge of the stamp, which is pretty disappointing when you end up with a halo. I call it a halo. It's not the kind of halo you want, though. And the vellum, we know that our label is kind of going to go on this bottom edge, so I'm going to only put my adhesive kind of along that bottom edge, because it will show through the vellum. I'll show you after I stick this on. Let's put it right about there. Of course, it doesn't, on the white, it doesn't show up as readily as it does on the darker colors, because let me tell you, on the dark ones, if you put that adhesive on the vellum on all four corners like we like to do, you will not be happy with your end result. Then, these I punched out in Balmy Blue, since that was one of the colors that coordinates. And I'm going to use glue dots, the Mini, M-I-N-I, Mini. Oops, I got all kinds of stuff going on there. Because what I can do, I think I'll just tear a couple off. I can put it underneath the bigger leaves. Just stick it on. And underneath that one. Then if I think that I want another piece, I can use my piercing tool. And yes, I have the old style. I'll show you the one that's on the U-Picket tool, or this is the one we have now. And that one has the little well, I forget what it's called, paste stuff. I'm going to hold that down. Get on there. So, I need a double length of the twine. However much you need to tie bows is how much you need to cut. I think 6 to 7 inches. So that means this needs to be 12 to 14 inches. Hopefully you've got linen thread in your stash or some kind of twine that will work, because I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to put that in the kits. I can. I haven't actually thought all of that out yet. Where's the other? There it is. It's hanging up in there. Make my bow kind of, the tails go the way I want it to go. Just kind of fiddling with it. And then the lovely glue dot is what's going to hold that in place without sticking out everywhere. And you just pick a spot, any spot. See? It's stuck. Those are stuck. This is fine. It's not going anywhere. It has its own adhesive, and you've stuck it down with that label. So now we are ready to go ahead and mount that. So on my example card, I believed I used boho blue to cut those flowers. For my card today, I used Balmy Blue. And you'll get whatever the notion strikes whenever I put your kit together. But it will be pretty. There you go. in the inside. I don't know where my little strip, you know, we always decorate the inside. I either didn't cut a strip. I'm going to go ahead and stick this in. And then I'm very brave. A lot of my girls like to do their inside stamping in case they mess up, because they can flip the card over. Not me. I stick it down and then I stamp. And then I'll go, oh, I should have done that the other way. So just some tap, tap, tapping. Yep, not inked up real good. Do want to hold on to that pretty firmly and not let it go flying. And I'm using Sending You Smiles for every moment of your special day. And if I had my strip of paper, which you will have in your kit, like this one, I would put that on there. But for some reason, I did not put it in my kit. And I'm not going to take the time to cut one right now. You get the gist. So that is card number 1. I'm going to move these stamps out of the way because it's the only birthday card we're using. And let's add some embellishments. These iridescent rhinestones. On this one, I used a new sparkle gem, but I changed my plan then for you guys and decided to do these iridescent rhinestones. So I'm going to put one down there, and they are so sparkly. And they look kind of pink, but when you put them on this blue, they pick up the blue, and you're good. So you'll have a whole package of those. So that is card number 1. Which do you like better, with the balmy blue or the boho blue? You'll have to tell me, and then I'll know what to put in your kits. I know, I saw the order. So that's the first card. And here's the one I'm going to do next. Kind of a thank you card. You'll have plenty of paper left. Even if you can't make your cards exactly like these, you'll be able to substitute. I believe it's this one. And make. This one has some cute, cute details. We're using a paper, it's called Texture Shimmer Paper, and it's textured. I don't know, can you see the lines on it? And sparkly. I've used a die, the Scallop Contour dies, has a die that cuts this nice detail. Also has a die that cuts the label. You notice I always change things up. I don't have to punch out the vellum for mine because I did that ahead of time. I did not punch out my shimmer. So I have the piece that goes inside. And then you kind of can't see. There's a piece of the Designer Series paper that goes on here, and we're going to mount our scallop piece to the bottom of it, and then we'll build this panel to go on top of it. And it's kind of your ribbon gets tied after we've put that piece of paper on. It gets tied around the whole front of the card, so when you open the card you see the ribbon, and then your bow is off to the side. So let me see here. I think what I'll do is kind of line my piece up, and then line this up, and that'll give me an idea of where to put my adhesive. I'm going to put it on the top of this white piece. It's kind of, oops, did not mean to go off like that. Never fear. Do you have an eraser? This is an adhesive eraser for the times whenever you get a little carried away with your adhesive. It just takes it right off. Or you can use your embossing buddy. It's got powder in it, and that will cover the adhesive. So for this piece, I'm very tempted to use the foxes, and I tried, and it was too busy. So I went back to this side. And then I can glue this, well, adhere it, glue, you know, stick it. Come on. Go ahead and get it mounted on there and get our ribbon tied. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I'm sorry. I feel it coming. I put some hand lotion on so the backs of my hands wouldn't look so dry. Now it's got my nose a-running. Okay. And put it on the inside. Give yourself some tails here. I think when I measure, it's 18, 20 inches, something like that. And that bow tied in such a way that it kind of lays flat. I don't know how come I know how to tie bows. I had one daughter, and I was a pretty good bow tire. So I'm not going to trim anything just yet until I get the other piece. Oops. Let's go ahead and put you on the inside, so you'll quit falling out. Stick it in here. Just a little edge, a little mat. Let me show you. This punch is called Country Bouquet. You can see it has 2 hearts and leaves, and it coordinates with the Countryside Inn. No, it's a different one, because Countryside Inn has the dies that cut the that kind of nest inside of each other. Okay, so we can mount this. I love this paper with these. I guess they're partridges. I'm not sure what kind of birds they are. Just eye that up a little bit. Then I have my label that I'm going to stamp. And that one is in Misty Moonlight. And it's Endlessly Grateful. So any that you have that will fit on this label, or die cut you another label, but you'll get the labels. And I'm going to kind of stamp it to the right end so I have room to put those hearts. See how the heart is. Okay. Clean this off so I don't accidentally get ink on myself. And the only thing that has dimensionals on this card is this heart. I decided you can put this on dimensionals, but I don't like getting a whole bunch of layers then that you're having to worry about whenever you're mailing. And I kind of did my ribbon so it was flatter. And then this just mounted right flat on the card. I went off again. Seems to be the name of the game. And I'm going to skip the spot and not put the adhesive where I'm pretty sure the ribbon is going to go, so that I don't have humps, because this should stick down pretty flat. Yes. And I am not mounting this on dimensionals. Checking the comments over there. But let's kind of eye it up. So we're going to put that on a dimensional. And this little guy gets a glue dot. I want to put that. I think I'll put it right there. And just mount it flat. But when you make yours, you can experiment with it and kind of see what you want to do. If you want it on dimensionals. Dimensionals will not be included in the kits, because when you come to my card classes in person, you're expected to have your adhesives and kind of your crafting essentials. So this class is kind of that way too. Some things you just have to have. And let's get us a glue dot. It goes, you know, the heart has a small side and a bigger side, and I want it under that bigger side. Can you see that? Get it peeled off. And now we don't have to worry about the adhesive showing, because we're going to put one of our rhinestones right there where we put that glue dot. And that is going to hide our adhesive. How cool is that? And that's the only rhinestone on this one. Feel free if you want to spiff it up some more. I debated, and I just stuck with the simpler, not adding a lot to it. Now I can trim my, I call these legs. I don't know why I call them legs. It's the legs of my bow. Sure don't want to trim that one before I'm ready. And then you've got your inside. It's a thank you card, so you don't really need, like I said, I didn't cut a strip of paper to decorate the inside of that. I will try to remember to do that. Well, no, I won't have to, because you'll have paper and you can do what you want on the inside. That, my friends, is the second card in this 3-card class. You'll get 2 of these kits. Die cutting will be done, punching will be done. I might do one of each label. It depends on how the notion strikes when I'm preparing them. Now let's get number 3 done. Now, I changed this one up a little bit. This is one of those, they call it a book binding, but I did not make yours that way. Here it is. Because it was kind of complicated, and I felt like I could accomplish the same thing and not do it that way. So the cool thing we get to do for this one is embossing, and this will be done for you. You will get a piece that is already embossed, and you do have to pay attention to size. And I did not emboss this ahead of time, so I'm going to need to go emboss it. Sorry about that. I try to do ahead what I can, and I don't keep my embossing machine right here. So if I had music, I'd put music on. Hey, somebody else is watching me. Hello. Alrighty. I'll be right back. It'll take me the time to walk in there and be back. this embossing folder is the prettiest thing. It's probably easier to see it with this piece in here. But look at the pretty texture that it gives your paper. This is the Countryside Blossoms. It's part of the suite of products that this paper coordinates with. And like I said, be careful. Now, we're going to tie our ribbon on the inside of this one. Pretty much like what we did before. Won't take quite as much. Well, yeah, it probably will take the same amount of ribbon. Let's see here. I've about used up this roll. And I have to order more, and I just hope they come in time for those who have ordered this class. They've been running 3 to 7 days, so your order might not ship for a few days. They got behind, and it has been the devil to catch up. And then they have switched over to a new system, and now they're learning new stuff. So, all right, that you can push it up, well, over, and make it look like a book without actually having to score it and fold it and glue it. Now you see why I decided just to do a landscape card and call it good. I could have probably stuck that on before I tied, but it's way more fun to fight with the bow. Isn't that pretty? And then our inside is a little bit different size. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I did use the bow punch to punch the leaves and the flowers again. And this is punched out with our new circle punch. It's called a decorative circle. Pretty fun because it gives it some shape. And I made sure this will not be punched out for you. So if you don't have the decorative circle, just use the circle that you have and it will work fine. Whatever size that you want to use. If you have the layered ones that have stitching around them, those would be cute. Now this one is stamped with, I think it's boho blue. That's what we're going to try. And it says, thinking of you. In that stamp set, very best occasions. Get it inked up nicely. There we go. Through the envelope in the floor. This little oval is just the right size. Mini envelope dies. M-I-N-I, mini envelope dies, has that shape in it. I looked and I looked and I looked until I found one. So this one, and you know, that side's pretty cute too. That would be cute. But I'm going to stick with the plan. Let's don't change things up now. Get this stuck down. I like for those the stripes to go side to side. But it's your card and you do it how you want to. You'll have 2 of them. So now let me show you another way to put adhesive. Do you have a silicone mat? You see them in the catalog and you're like, I don't need one of those. Well, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So another way to put adhesive is to use that silicone mat and just to put some adhesive on, and it won't stick to this, but it has stuck on the back of your cardstock. So that's another way of adhering without. I actually have some glue that I use but it's not Stampin' Up! Product. So for my videos, I don't have to, but I do use Stampin' Up! Products. But this is a way. And if you have the this sheet that embellishments come on, will work as a silicone mat because the sticky doesn't stick to them. Think about it. Those embellishments come off. Now I can move that, and I'm going to need some dimensionals because this little label does get stuck on with dimensionals. It's small enough. 2 will work. And eye that up. We'll add our embellishments in a minute. But now the inside, the liner is a little different size than you're used to. Because if we had made this card and stuck it down along the edge like a book, that's all the space that you have. But I decided not to do mine for you guys that way. But I can still use a different size of basic white for the liner. Like I said, I haven't told you any sizes. That'll be in the PDF. All the card bases are pretty much, well, yeah, this one is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. The other 2 are cut at 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And the inside with Comfort and Love. We'll do it in boho blue since that was the color that we did on the front. I'm not going to put any designer series paper on the inside of this one because I want to give myself some room to write. And I always put things in the middle. Pretty good. Might be crooked a little, but who's counting? All right. Those are the 3 cards for this first card class to go. Let's put some embellishments on this one. What did I do? It just, I think it went on the floor. I'll find it. Because I had a little sheet that had some. Let's use a big one. And I think I'm going to put it over here this time. There are 3 sizes. And use a bit. Oh, there it is. And use one here. The fun thing about doing different, more than one card, because you can change it up. So those are our cards. Endlessly Grateful. Move that out of the way. I will be getting the kits put together, and I'll let you know Monday. And I know that seems kind of weird, but these card classes to go work a little bit differently. I have to have an ordering period to use the host code to let me know that you want it, and that closes Wednesday. And then I have to have time to prepare the kits. I will put all that information. I don't want to keep boring you with it, but there is a little host code to use. That's how I know that you want this card class. You'll get your 6 cards a week from today. I'll get the kits ready. Like I said, I've got to place an order to get ribbon and some other things to make it work. So if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm really excited to offer an option for stamping when you can't attend in person, and we'll see how it goes. It's a little different, and for those who like in-person, perfect. Come to my in-person class. Let's see, can you see? Yeah, I'm going to bring it down just a skosh. All right, well, that was all I had for today. I just wanted to make sure that you see how to make these cards. This will be posted on this page, this Facebook page, and I'll also put it on my YouTube channel. So if you don't get your cards made and you can't find the video here on Facebook, just hop over to YouTube and you should be able to search for Countryside Inn Designer Series Paper Card Class to Go. Kind of long, Card Class to Go, because I think that's probably, I'll start a new playlist, and that'll be the simplest way. So thank you very much for your time, and hope you have a good night. See y'all later. Bye.